2015 Honda Goldwing Review. I always make fun of fearless editor Lance for being so old, but the truth is that I'm probably more of a cantankerous codger than he is. I have a feeling that if the suits at Repzilla told Lance that they were dropping his ass onto a touring barge like the Goldwing, he might not be as excited as I got. Big and tall bikes are permanent residents at Casa de Lemy. I owned an Electra Glide for a spell. I've also ridden plenty of difficult bikes. Jockey shift is cake for me. All that notwithstanding, the first time I walked up to the wing, it intimidated me a bit. The bike weighs over 900 pounds. That figure varies depending on which options package you've selected. The wheelbase is 66.5 inches. It's heavy, long, wide, complex. A few years ago, Honda engineers pointed out that a Goldwing has more individual parts than an Accord. I've never been accused of displaying prudence over valor, however, so I fired up the wing and gave it some throttle. Honda's combined braking system, which links the two front discs and single rear disc, is standard on the Goldwing. If the rider uses either the front lever or the foot brake, the system applies braking force both front and rear. Adding anti-lock brakes gets you what Honda calls the ABS, but that's an extra cost option. Our test bike had the audio comfort package, which meant it did have AM/FM, intercom, CB radio, the heated grips and seat, cruise control and electric reverse, which is a lot of stuff for the peasant model in this 40th year of Soichiro Honda's masterpiece. It lacked the CABS, navigation system, satellite radio and airbag. When I first picked up the bike, I was concerned about its commanding size and how I would deal with that size in the rainstorm that was threatening. I had no rain gear with me. The Goldwing comported itself so nicely once underway, however, that I felt positively planted as I pointed the bike towards home. I felt so confident, in fact, that I started playing with buttons on the sound system. The Goldwing presents few surprises. It's a Honda product. Their bikes may lack lovable quirks, but they flat out work. The Wing is no exception. Performance, braking, handling, all objective points of measurements really must be considered in context, however. A rider must respect how heavy and long this bike must be in order to fulfill its mission of providing ultimate touring comfort. Anyone considering a Goldwing seriously must understand that this bike is a balancing act of comfort against comfort's natural archenemy: performance. The Wing falls far to the comfort side of the equation. The million-dollar question is whether that comfort comes at too steep a performance price tag. I'll probably be all over the map here because there are all manner of little niceties to point out on the Wing that made my life good, and my wife had a similar list. The ride on this bike was, as I have said, acceptably good. The seating arrangement is fabulous. The Wing has a great stock seat, and I was sitting nice and upright, with my feet immediately beneath me and my hands in front of me in a very natural spot. My wife was also really comfortable. Several times I noticed her kicking back and using the padded spots on top of the speaker to change up her position. We had some room between us, which was a nice change of pace, no sweaty back for me. Miles are easy to rack up on this bike because your body is not contorted. The radio is glorious. It's nice to simply hear music while going down the road, and the Goldwing speaker system didn't leave me straining to hear. I haven't tested Harley's new boom audio system, but the Goldwing is noticeably louder than Harley's old system at speed. Wifey had no volume complaints either. Speaking of volume, the Wing is nearly silent. It's great on a long trip, where a loud exhaust can really grate on you and tire you. I would not trade these mufflers for the world. Carrying capacity is staggering. The saddlebags and top case are easily opened in an obtrusive spot under the top case itself with 3 latches arranged intuitively. The top box can be opened remotely with a button on the key fob, as well. Each side case has a hydraulic damper for opening, which I found to be a nice touch. The amount of room, about 150 liters, makes packing really easy. Here was my general rule of thumb for packing. Will that fit? Yes, it will. Seriously, short of really long items, damn near everything fits. Because I do sometimes carry long items, though, the Wing is screaming for a luggage rack. The whole bike is sleek, shiny integrated luggage, so there is practically no place to lash things like tents or fishing sticks. I became a Wing nut instantly. If it fits, I'll bring it. And it will. All of it. The second item I wanted to add was a trailer hitch to fully unleash the wingnut living inside of me. I build a little camper trailer and haul it everywhere with this scooter. It has plenty of power to do it, and I could stay on the road for a seriously long time if I was hauling my own little hotel. On a side note, I love tinkering with bikes, and even I found it funny that I would only want to add 2 accessories to this motorcycle. The bike simply doesn't need to be changed much to do the job for which it was designed. Mrs. Lemmy also loved her stash pockets and the seat warmer. She was so comfortable she bemoaned the lack of armrests because she couldn't sleep. Not making this up. We both liked the windshield vent, which really allowed fine-tuning of where the incoming air was hitting you. Reverse gear is cool. It's not a true gear. Instead, the wing uses the starter motor to propel the bike backwards at 0.5 miles per hour. For me, it was more of a novelty than anything else, but if I were older or less strong, I would absolutely appreciate that inclusion. It's a useful feature not found on many bikes, and not one you can easily add on your own. The wing is a tried-and-true platform. The flat 6 is fairly easy to service, and the drive shaft means maintenance is pretty easy. Valve adjustments are not terribly difficult due to the engine layout. The advent of the 1800 engine saw the demise of the timing belt too, in favor of a timing chain. These are long-lived, reliable, affordable bikes in terms of maintenance. Wingers will mostly be replacing the oil and rear tires. Honda slapped some badges on the wing and gave it a special key for the Big 4-0. Cynics might say that Honda didn't put much effort into this birthday celebration, but I choose to be a bit more optimistic. Honda probably didn't think the big Tourer needed much improvement, and I am inclined to agree. Everything that I didn't love about the wing could be easily remedied for pretty short money in the aftermarket. It's a capable bike that surprised me in most aspects. I would love to have one, if only to please my bride. I wouldn't have a gold wing as an only bike, I don't think. But for a 2+ motorcyclist, a gold wing would certainly get my nod. The wing is 40. It's officially over the hill. Fortunately, due to the bike's continued relevance, its rider doesn't have to be.